The state's latest corruption inquiry is off to an explosive start. It's heard that people from both sides of politics stood to benefit from a planned corrupt deal with a water company. Among the allegations that a senior Liberal figure stood to bank as much as $20 million from a company linked to the family of former Labor Minister Eddie Obeid. The fallout's already begun, with the New South Wales Liberal Party pledging to refund tens of thousands of dollars of tainted donations. Leif Casbin has more.
Here we go again.
The inquiry, which starts today, is yet another investigation into allegations of the misuse of political power for personal gain.
And again, former MP Eddie Obeid is front and centre.
If the Obeids owned 30% of Australian Water Holdings, they stood to make somewhere between $30 million and $60 million if the PPP went through.
What's at issue is Australian Water Holdings' public-private partnership proposal with Sydney Water, and the role of this man, the company's CEO, Nick DiGirolamo.
It's inappropriate for me to say anything at the moment.
The Commission was told as a close friend of Eddie Obeid, he relentlessly lobbied politicians for a water contract in Sydney's northwest that stood to make millions. The ICAC heard that with DiGirolamo at the helm, administration costs charged to Sydney Water ballooned, while political donations to the Liberal Party were disguised as expenses for Sydney Water.
Australian Water Holdings were making big donations to the Liberal Party, $20,000 here, $30,000 there.
Federal Assistant Treasurer Arthur Sinodinos was also named. The Commission was told as a director of Australian Water Holdings he received $200,000 a year for 100 hours work and stood to make up to $20 million if the contract was awarded to Australian Water Holdings. The inquiry alleges corruption at the highest level of government, with an accusation that a draft cabinet minute was doctored by former Labor ministers, which would have boosted the value of Australian Water Holdings by as much as $200 million. Those former ministers are Tony Kelly and Joe Tripodi.
The purpose was to trick the cabinet into approving a transaction which would have handed over the control of water infrastructure in the northwest Sydney to Australian Water Holdings.
But the plan didn't get through. Both sides of politics are in the frame at this inquiry, which will hear from 40 witnesses over the next 3 weeks. Leif Casbin, ABC News, Sydney.